He's black. So we don't do that. We don't spend the night at people's house without a full FBI background check. We don't tell her what we're about to do. We ask her. We don't say huh when she calls us. Because if you could huh, you could hear. We don't talk to her like she's one of our friends. Because she's not. We don't talk back. We would like to live. Thank you very much. We do not slam doors. Not in this house. We don't ask why when she says no. You better not. We do not call adults by their first name. No, ma'am. We do not tell her, let Susie, Mom, let Susie do. Because Susie ain't her child.
Yeah. Susie ain't her child, right?
Wow, man.
Kind. Hey, first and foremost, we want to give all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'ashem Hamashiach Yahushua. Hey, we want to thank him for letting us, see another day, to be able to do this work. Hey, I know we've been gone, but we just did the Passover. We were trying to get ready for Passover last week. Trying to get ready for Passover last week, or the last Wednesday, and the Wednesday before that, I had some school stuff going on. So yeah, hey, forgive us for being absent, but hey, we here. We're gonna continue to do this work. Hey, we got y'all see the title. We're gonna go over the mark of the beast tonight. We got a couple other topics we're gonna go over, but the mark of the beast is gonna be one of the main topics. Let me see something real quick. Okay. Now it's been a lot going on as far as it's been a lot of heathens taking L's, bro. It's been a lot of heathens taking L's. Like I've been seeing video after video of heathens getting hands put on them. You know what I'm saying? You got the Carmelo Anthony situation going on. There's been a lot of heathens taking L's. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so every once in a while you still see situations arise like this one here. Let me play this real fast. I first seen this and it made me mad. I ain't lying. But this is the brother, he playing that video, but he like, yeah, we found where she at. We found her. You know what I'm saying? Whenever y'all run across these situations with these people, hey, go ahead, broadcast them. Broadcast them, right? Don't let them slide. Go ahead, broadcast them. You know what I'm saying?
Black Trump.
All right. Hey, y'all excuse the language, but listen to it. This is one of them Indian Hindu ladies.
Yo, check this out. Initially, shout out to my homegirl, Luck That One. She got me to this Instagram right here. I got this. She's a model. She's a UCLA grad, so I don't know if UCLA knows that that's what they got coming through their school. But this is the Linty sweater that got us connected initially. Then my homie Jerry Law came with it, y'all. Look at this. Natasha Chand, Bank of the West. I wonder if you talk to your coworkers like that. I wonder if you talk to your customers like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is why a cat like me just started doing public health. I'm out all the politics. You know what I'm saying? We cannot waste our ancestors' sacrifices on people that haven't even taken care of their own community, on social groups that still have a lot of work to do themselves to get rid of anti-blackness. I don't know, but like I said, we need justice. We need justice. Justice is what we need. So now we got a name. And now I think it's time to hit up Bank of the West. All right? Peace.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? We ain't letting them slide. Right? They taking L's. Big time. These heathens is taking L's. Hey, Mathanya said he couldn't hit the beginning of the video. Yeah, it was kind of low. But the gist of it is she was basically calling the sister the N-word and everything else, And I ain't gonna lie, like I said, when I first seen the original video, it pissed me off. It made me mad.
Is that Ishmael out of one?
That's Elam.
Oh, it's Elam.
Yeah, Elam.
Okay.
That's the You good? You good? That's the East. That's the East Indian. All right. So with that being said, all right. So we got who it is. We got once again his brother Carmelo. Now I noticed a article from the Daily Mail, and they was talking about this brother where they live and all that type of stuff. But you notice you gonna be able to tell. Watch this. I'm gonna go pull this up real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna share my screen. Watch this. Mm-hmm. Get going on. All right. You see that, King?
Come on.
So this is the Daily Mail, right? You can tell what narrative they're trying to push. You know, it says the teen killer Carmelo Anthony receives parade of deliveries at family's $900,000 gated community home after crying poor to get out of jail. You could tell by that title, you know what I'm saying, that you could tell what but what narrative they're trying to push. Yeah. For those that ain't hip to what's going on, which is I'm sure everybody know, the brother, which is a brother, was at the track meet. The white boy walked up on him, you know what I'm saying, him and his brother, they jumped him, and you know what I'm saying, and so here go the brother, he stabbed the white boy, and so they got him in jail, but he didn't recently got out on bond. They dropped his bond from $1 million to $250,000. But this is the narrative they pushing. But check this out, right? Check this out. Go down, watch this. It says a Texas teen charged in the stabbing death of a track star. You see that? Automatically, a track star.
Track star
is hold up in an exclusive gated community in a $900,000 house, despite claiming to have limited financial means, as he convinced a judge to release him from jail. Carmelo Anthony, 17, walked free from prison after a controversial decision by a judge to lower his bond for charges that he stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf at a track meet on April 2nd. Local cops say, because we about to get off into what? Says local cops say a confrontation between Metcalf and Anthony broke out during a high school track meet when Metcalf called out Anthony, who did not attend the same school as Metcalf, for sitting under his team's tent. All right, so watch this. It said, Metcalf demanded Anthony leave. The argument escalated when Anthony produced a knife and stabbed a junior from Memorial High School in the chest. Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms, who was also at the track meet as part. Notice how they try to separate the two twins. He said who was also at the track meet. No, he was right there with him.
Yeah, he was right there fighting. He was fighting with him.
Those two, you know what I'm saying, jumped the brother. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly. So it says Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms, who was at the track meet. As part of the terms of his release, Anthony is under house arrest and must wear an ankle monitor. The teenager is now hunkered down in a Frisco home. Notice how they putting these folks' business
down.
out.
Yeah, hunkered down.
Not only that, they putting these folks' business out. Look, it says the teenager is hunkered down in a Frisco home located on Mercedes Lane. Why you got to tell what street they live on?
Right.
They want somebody to go over there and do something to them or something. You know what I'm saying? It says on Mercedes Lane that his family is renting for an estimated price tag of $3,500 a month, according to Zillow. When DailyMail.com visited the home Tuesday, a white Suburban, a black Acura, and a third sedan were parked in the driveway. One resident told DailyMail.com the family just purchased a new vehicle. That as if that like ain't nobody worried about what they just purchased. So then it says right here in the subtitle, the picture, it says, accused teen killer Carmelo Anthony lives in a ritzy gated community, Richwoods in Frisco, Texas. The 17-year-old will spend his house arrest there. It's like they basically trying to say stop sending money because this is how they living. We ain't worried about that as long as that brother get free.
It's like, one thing I noticed when you read further up is that how he was released from prison.
Right.
That boy ain't in no prison, man.
Right.
They try to pour that grown man on our children as much as they can, man.
Yeah, they want to make it seem like he was in prison. He's some deranged
Yeah,
killer and all
yeah,
this and that.
released from prison.
And called the Edomite a track star.
Right. Called him a track star. Yeah. Boy. Well, this ain't nothing new though. Bywords.
Right. It says right here, Austin Metcalf was killed April 2nd after he was stabbed in the chest. Accused teen killer coming after his release from jail Monday after a judge ordered the teen's bond lowered when his family claimed financial struggles. Let's see. So they still look. They got. Why you got to post? You posting their cars, the house. You said the street they live on. Now watch this in the rest of the article. Watch how they go into detail. He got a new car. If you look at the license plate, it's got a paper tag and it says expires June 4th. The resident who asked to remain anonymous shared. So they got one of the neighbors to take a picture. It says the lavish lifestyle is in stark contract to the cash struggles Anthony's father, Andrew Anthony, claimed to have in court Monday, where the parent claimed he was the sole breadwinner. Prosecutors grilled Anthony over why he could not use the more than $439,000 as of Tuesday night and donated funds for his son's defense to pay the $1 million bond the judge had set. Andrew told the court that he has no access to the donated funds and instead planned to use the money for his son's legal defense. Many of the family's neighbors didn't know that Anthony's lived among them until Carmelo came home from jail Monday. Now it's jail. Says Richwoods, as the exclusive community is located within walking distance of Centennial High School, where Anthony ran track and was the captain of a football team before his arrest. Most residents were not happy the team was there and even expressed fear for their safety. Notice, I mean, I'm just tripping off. Like, you see the narrative they pushing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all been at that same track and field and football or whatever else with that same boy. Now y'all fear for y'all life. Okay. All right. What about these guys that be going and doing these mass shootings out of one? What about that? They don't put all their business out there like that.
They go on, they airing out the school. These white boys will go and air out the school. You don't see them taking pictures of their house, the license plate, what the house look like, how many cars they got, if they just bought a new car and all that. You see the narrative they pushing, right? Now, I seen this article on Facebook, and I went down in the comments, and the people from Daily Mail, they said our hearts is with the victim, obviously, and that's what I put in the comments. I said obviously.
Yeah. I believe that came from somebody in his family. That whole piece right there.
To my this right here.
That whole piece you read.
Oh, came from the dude that got.
I think the way it's written, the way you read it, it sounds like it's just too personal to sound like it came from a journalist.
It sounded like it came from a neighbor or something.
Yeah, it sounded like somebody typed it. Yeah, that don't sound like it came from no journalist, because some of the stuff that's in there, I don't think a journalist can say, because then they put prison up at the top and then they put jail at the bottom.
Right. Yeah, see how they putting attention on the money that he's accumulating. He raised over $439,000. They putting attention on that money. Yeah, hey, they mad because our people is supporting our people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They be supporting those. Look, that boy, that Kyle Rittenhouse, when he went over there and shot all of them, even though they was white folks, he shot, but still, they put a whole bunch of money behind that boy.
Right. Yeah. It's like basically, so you see the narrative these people are pushing, and they always holler victim. They always holler victim to basically get out of not being held accountable. They always holler victim. These two dudes that walked up on this brother, put hands on the brother. I don't know if he swung on him or not, but basically, from what I gathered, they jumped him, right? They grabbed his stuff and all that type of stuff, try to rough him up. And the brother said, you know what I'm saying, touch me again and watch what's gonna happen, basically. Shalom, King. Shalom, King. So the brother, you know what I'm saying, basically, he was ultimately the victim, even though what happened to the Edomite happened to him. But when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You see what I'm saying? If the shoe was on the other foot, they'll say it was self-defense. But we ain't worried about all that. I just wanted to bring attention to how you see the narrative that they was pushing on Daily Mail. It's crazy, bro. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? They controlling the narrative with these different news outlets. All right. So with that being said, all right. So you want to get off into hold on, let me see something real quick. We can go ahead and get off into with this brother Charleston White talking about, bro.
Okay. Yeah, I'm with it.
Charleston White. Oh man.
Yeah, you know that brother be
Goof Troop number one. I call him Goof Troop number one.
Yeah.
Well, his character I call Goof Troop, but him as a man and wherever in Fort Worth, I commend him for that. But the rest of it,
yeah, he be saying some stuff that makes sense, and he also say a whole lot of stuff that's off the wall.
Calls for strokes. That's what he's saying. Calls for strokes to that ass, Rocky.
Let me share my screen real quick. Let me share my screen. Oh shoot, hold up.
Hey man, all praise to the Most High, man. Y'all forgive me on my tardiness, man. Was on you know what I'm saying, the dad vibes. But y'all forgive me, man. We in the midst now.
Con. Everything good?
Con. Yeah, man. Just leaving track practice. You feel me?
Oh, okay, yeah. Going to the Olympics.
Hey, shoot, we hope so, God.
Yeah.
Hey, start at 4, you know what I'm saying, 4 minutes.
Hey, Mathanya, is he talking like he got some sense this time, or is he flippity doo dah on this?
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna give everybody, like, I was real turned off on Charleston White for the longest, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I always would catch him in his character, like you know what I'm saying, Brother Abadati was saying, and you know, his character be on some coon stuff. You know what I'm saying? It be on worshiping the so-called white man. It just be on a whole bunch of niggatry. You feel me? And a brother came to me and was like, bro, give him a chance. You gotta truly listen to him, you know what I'm saying? And you gotta, you know, basically take the meat and spit out the bones. And I listened to the interview he had with Cam Newton. And he said, bro, like, when I was doing all the right thing, going and speaking at churches, going and speaking at politician meetings, so on and so forth, nobody was listening to me.
Right.
But when I started acting like a nigga, now I got your attention. Okay. So now I'm about to tell you what's real. And what he's talking about with this sister right here, this is her podcast, In My City. He's breaking down the destruction of the black family. He's showing how our community is destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying? And sisters, y'all may be a little offended on this one. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna bring it all the way around, and we're gonna get on the brothers as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Because we destroyed as a community, men and women. But let's start at timestamp 4 right there, King, and we can go ahead and play it. And you know, we can stop in between. You know, when you hear something good or you want to comment.
Okay.
Child is born bad. Thanks. All behavior is learned and taught.
Can this go up some?
Either direct teachings or just observations.
Can y'all hear it?
From the environment.
Just a little bit.
A very loving,
Good,
nurtured environment.
Kind of turn my thing up. See if I
uncles, you know, who was young. My mom had me at 17. She had my brother at 15. So as we grow up with young parents, our parents aren't as responsible as they are as they age, right?
Absolutely.
So when they're young, they got they gonna have their boy cousins around, they gonna have their brother. So the children get exposed. So yeah, I got exposed to all my mama's cousins, my Uncle Wayne. My granddaddy had a barbershop on the south side that had all the hustlers and players out there. So I got exposed to what I like to say, the culture. Black. I'm the product of black culture. I was born in the 70s. I was born May 17, 1977. I was born during the black exploitation era. Most of the movies that I saw coming up was about pimps, Superfly, the Mac, Dolomite, even my nickname, Charleston Blue, is termed after, a pimp movie called Comeback Charleston Blue.
Yeah.
So the first half of my life, that's what I was exposed to. So that's the criminal elements of black culture, right? So I was birthed during that era, only for the 80s to come, and then here come crack. Well, my mother was never on crack, but my grandmother was, or my aunts was. So by my mother trying to be the backbone of the family, she exposed us to that world. Grandmama coming over here, so we got to see what dope fiends look like.
Yeah.
My mom rescuing, my cousins from, CPS situations from, with my aunt. So we got to see, from the sidelines of what it looked like.
Hey, pause there real quick, King.
Then here come, so when the crack.
I don't think it did. It pause? Oh, okay. I'll pause it. So, man, do you see what we're exposed to as a community, man?
Mm-hmm.
He mentioned dope fiends, right? He mentioned the crack epidemic, and the crack epidemic still has an impact on our people to this day, right? It has impacted many families. It has taken out men and women who weren't able to be there for their children due to drug addictions.
Right.
And we know who led the crack epidemic. We know who led that. Your U.S. government put crack in your neighborhoods, right? So what he's bringing is he mentioned it's the exploitation of the black people, black culture, right? And this is something that we see across all black families that struggle from trauma and drug addictions, alcohol addictions, so on and so forth. And children have been exposed to this, right? And that's all they know, and that's all they see, man. So they take on these customs, right? Let me get Proverbs 29 and 18 real quick. Proverbs 29 and 18.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish. But
Go ahead, King. Go ahead.
But he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
Who was teaching the law? I was, to be honest, all praise to the Most High. I was the one, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, that brought this truth to my family. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nobody teaching the laws back in the 70s and 80s of my family to be able to be passed down to me. So the scriptures say, well, there is no vision, the people perish, man. And we looking at a people that have suffered decades of being spiritually dead, man.
That's right.
Right? Going through trauma. Right? And we see that impacting our children to this day, man. Right? But we can continue. I don't want to. I would doubt unless y'all had some, King.
Yeah, let's go to 1 Corinthians 3 and 19. Because, like he said, our people have been exposed to, like you said, the crack epidemic, and even to this day, our people are exposed to different drugs. Our people are exposed to different the music that we're exposed to. Our little girls are exposed to harlotry. Our sons, we glorify the type of behavior that's parallel to all those drugs and activities. We glorify that behavior in front of the children, in front of these little boys, in front of these little girls, and then think it's cute when they get to acting like that.
That's right.
We think it's cute. And when we try to bring this knowledge to our people, they don't want to hear it. But you'll teach your child, and probably teach them indirectly, because you're doing it without even actually trying to teach them how to do it. But really, your behavior is teaching them. You're teaching them indirectly how to cook up dope, how to sell dope, how to go to jail. You know what I'm saying? How to bounce from man to man, from woman to woman.
That's right.
Right? But bring it out, King.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yahweh. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
It says, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. It says, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. All that other stuff don't even matter. It's foolishness with God. If it ain't about what's going on in the scriptures, it's foolishness.
That's right.
You saying, I know what I'm doing. Like when we be talking to people, we be on the street, be like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? You know your nationality. Oh, I'm good. I know it. Foolish. You foolish.
How you good, brother?
How you good?
How you
Right.
good?
Right.
You don't know your nationality. You don't know your traditions. You don't know your culture. You don't know anything, but you're good. Man, can we read verse 18 out of one?
Come.
Yeah. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18. Let no man deceive himself. Salakia. Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise.
And this is the problem. When they be out there talking about they're good, you don't want to become a fool so you can be wise. And what Paul is talking about right here, you got to humble yourself down, brother. You're not good.
Right.
That's right.
Look at your people. You as good. You as good as your people. We're on the bottom of every negative statistic all across society, brother. How are you good? How are you good when you're calling yourself a black man?
Right.
But you're good. You know what I'm saying, man? That's a lock you, kid. Go ahead, my bad.
No, you good. You good. So yeah, the wisdom of this world, foolishness with God. Ultimately, you know, it's time to teach your children, and that's why I played that video in the beginning of the two little girls that obviously have been taught well. They have been taught standards.
That's right.
And it's a lot of people that feel like you're doing too much to make your child say yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They think you're doing too much. My child ain't got to do all that. Teach them children standards. Once they get older and get grown, they can do whatever they want to do. But teach them standards while they're young, right? But I yield. Go ahead, King.
Con. Let's keep going on that, good brother.
All right.
I think you may have went backwards out of one.
Oh shoot! Hold on, my bad.
We was at like 650, I want to say.
What dope fiends look like.
Yeah.
My mom.
So with all that being said, even though you grew up,
So then you got crack, then the gang era. So I'm a product of those elements of Black America, coming from the single parent home. But I come from a single parent mother who tried to instill good morals and good values into her children. But she had to go to work.
Oh, stop right there, King. Stop right there. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
And this something that bothers me every day, man. Every day is that, and that's why me and Otto want to talk about this all the time, man. And I would challenge y'all as well, man. Like, we have to free our time, man. You know what I'm saying? Have your own business. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, have people that work for you so you can be free to do the work of the Lord and whatever else you desire.
Right.
Because the reality is this: the so-called white man's indoctrination and school system is who's really raising your children.
That's right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You spend maybe 3 hours out of the day, maybe 4, and if you and your child's mother or father are separated, it's less than that. You spend maybe 3 to 4 hours out of every day with your children, and they spend eight hours at school. You got to go to work. That's what he just said. My mom is at work, so guess who I'm being raised by? School, which is the so-called white man, indoctrination. I come home, I see the dope fiends, I see the gang bangers, and so that's how I became. That's what he's talking about. That's how I adopted gang culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because my cousin told me this the other day, and it makes sense. I was just talking, you know what I'm saying, to my lady friend about this as well. You know, education starts at home.
That's
not
right.
at school.
Right.
Right? Indoctrination happens at school because that's all it really is, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it really is, man. But I yield with that, King.
Okay. You want some more on it?
No, we can go ahead. He about to get into you know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all gonna have a lot on this right here. Go ahead.
So you want to keep playing the video or you want to shut it down?
Yeah, keep playing the video.
All right, okay.
You grew up in a loving home. You had all of those great values from your mom. And I understand that, you know, you had elements around you that played a huge part in your upbringing. Yeah. What made you decide to turn to gang life at a young age?
A mother's love is not sufficient enough for a boy.
Mm.
He said a mother's love is not sufficient enough for a boy. That's heavy.
That's
because
heavy.
What he's saying, he ain't saying that a mother's love is not important. He ain't saying that a mother's love is worthless. He's just saying for a young man, it's not sufficient enough. A young man needs more than just a mother's love. He needs his father.
That's right.
And that's why this society has systematically destroyed our household and families to get the father out the picture.
That's
right.
Because
they know if the men are the leaders of the community, they knew to get the head out the way and the body gonna fall.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that, right?
People think now mother's love is not sufficient. He have to have some type of male love, and it has to be consistent to even balance out the consistency of a mother's love. Without that balance, mothers ruin boys. You love on them too long, you ruin them. At some point, he has to go through some training or some discipline, some hard teachings. Man, I ain't never been spanked by a man.
Go to pause there real quick, King. Mm-hmm. Let me get a couple scriptures real quick, precepts, man. Let me get First Kings, man, the classic, man. Let me get 1 Kings 2:2, and somebody else give me Sirach, the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 3, verse 9, man. What he's saying is heavy, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'll go even on to say that a father's love is not even sufficient enough because we need balance.
Right.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We need nurturing from our mother. We need that, but we need the proper training and the example of how to be a man, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is what Solomon had in David.
Right.
You understand? We need that, man. This is what Yahweh had in Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we need men, man.
Right.
In our community. And like I don't want to say, man, this is what has systematically destroyed our community, because amongst most families now, you see women running everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because the men have failed. I'm gonna help y'all out, sisters, because I know that's what y'all want to hear. The men have failed y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? But we got, go ahead, King.
I just want to add a point. Maybe it's pretty much a question as well as a point. But Deuteronomy 28:54, at the end of that precept, I didn't pull it or nothing, but the end of that precept talks about how that man will leave his family, right?
That's right.
So this is like something proved that the curse of Deuteronomy 28:54 is living live and living color, for a fact of a better word. I yield.
I'm gonna pull that for you too, King, just for edification, man. So this is Deuteronomy 28 and verse number 54. It reads, "This is the curses of God, right, for the Israelites' disobedience." It says, "So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave."
Which he shall leave.
All right. You wanted to elaborate, Abdullah?
That was just that last part that I was bringing up on that last part about how that curse is, that's just like I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's like I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's an example.
An example,
it's an example. Yeah, Khan. It's an example of that curse of Deuteronomy 54, how the man will leave his children. So he gonna leave his daughter, he leave his wife, he leaves his children, he leaves his son, his daughter. So, like you said, to the black women that please to them, yeah, we did fail y'all in that aspect because of that curse.
That's right.
But it's also for the women too. It's a precept for that too. But I'll leave that alone. Slut.
Yep. No, we can read that. We can read that as well. Verse 56. I'll read it. It says, "The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness, her eyes shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom, and toward her sons, and toward her daughter, and toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and towards her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for one of all things."
So not only did the woman leave the son and the daughter, it's been a time in Israel. There's a famine that went through that the mother and the father also ate their young through famine. So it's not only just that we left them, we also left them. We didn't teach them the right thing. We didn't teach them. So it's the man, the black man and the black woman is also guilty of that curse of leaving our children. I yield.
That's right. Hey, all praises, man. You in the spirit. You in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? And this is important, man. One thing that the reason that we bringing this out is because we have to take accountability, man.
That's right.
I keep it real with my daughter, man. You know what I'm saying? I keep it all the way real because she deserve, the real, man. She don't deserve no lies, man. And we got to tell them what it is so that they can be better than us. As my cousin said, man, they got to move the ball down the field. We grabbed the ball from our parents, and they pushed it as far as they could. Now we got to continue to move the ball down the field, and our children have to continue to advance the ball. You understand?
Right.
So, man, that's important, man. That's important. Let me get Sirach. What did I call? 1 Kings 2:2 and Sirach 3:9, please, Baba Kashab.
Gotcha. The book is so right. The book, you got it out of one?
No, you can read Sirach. I read 1 Kings.
I already read 1 Kings already.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Okay. You say 3 and 9?
You read 1 Kings already?
Yeah.
It must have flew right over my head. I was thinking, okay, my bad.
We read 1 Kings already?
We did?
I didn't think we read it already.
Oh,
no. Let's bring it out if we can, Baba Kashar.
You say 2 and 9, right?
Sirach 3 and 9 and 1 Kings 2 and 2.
I'll read 1 Kings 2.
Oh, we read it already.
I got you, King.
All right.
1 Kings chapter 2, verse 2. I go the way of all the earth, and be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
Keep reading, King.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, to keep his statutes and his commandments and his judgments and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses, that thou mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
See that? We see what David was telling Solomon as he was dying. And David had Solomon had a righteous example, man.
Yep.
He had an example even of his father stumbling. You know what I'm saying? But getting back up, not staying down, repenting, right? And getting back in good graces with the Most High, man. See that?
That's right.
We need to see that sometimes, man. Sometimes our children, and that's why I be vulnerable with my kid and let her know, hey, daddy, I fall down sometimes, but we're gonna continue to get back up and keep pushing. You gonna make mistakes, man. But are you gonna quit?
Right.
Run your race, man. We did a short on that the other day, man. You gotta run your race. And it's gonna be obstacles and things like that in the way, man, but you gotta keep running. Right? Let me get that in Sirach 3 and 9.
The book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, verse 9. For the blessing of the father established the houses of the children, but the curse of the mother rooteth out foundations.
See that? You know what I'm saying? The head of the household, you know what I'm saying, always needs to be the man, man. And when he's living his life according to the will of the Father, right? The scriptures say, for the blessing of the father establishes the house of the children. See that? But the curse of the mother rooteth out foundation, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's talking about, man, when it's no father there to establish the house. Right. When there's no father there to establish the house, man, it causes confusion, man. Women start taking over men responsibilities, right? She becomes the man and the woman of the house. It's total confusion, man. Right? Because you know the woman shouldn't be trying to be a man anyway. Okay. You understand? You know, but man, I yield with that, man. We can
that curse of the mother.
I got a couple precepts. Let's go to Sirach 30 and 11.
Yep. Hey. Yeah. Hey. Sirach 30. Hey.
Yeah.
What other one you want?
Ecclesiastes 30 and 12.
Ecclesiastes 30 and 12.
Oh, my bad. That's where I'm at right now. No, I'm already right here.
Oh, okay.
The book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 30, verse 11. Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies.
So it says, give him no liberty in his youth. This is talking about your son, your child. Give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. Right? Keep going.
Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on the sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart.
Check this out. In verse 11 says, give him no liberty in his youth, and wink not at his follies. Notice, right? The father tends to be the disciplinarian, right? A lot of times, the mothers are the ones that's a lot more lenient on the sons, on the children. But I would say they were a lot more lenient on the sons, I would say. And so it says, give him no liberty. But, you know, mothers tend to give their children a lot of liberty, right? So it says, bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on his sides while he is a child. That's what you need the man in the house for. A woman shouldn't have to be trying to, bow down his neck and beat him. A woman shouldn't have to do this to a 11, 12-year-old boy bigger than her.
Yeah.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? It's not a woman's job to be doing all that. The father is the disciplinarian.
Hey, Shalakia King, in a lot of ways, you know, and I could be wrong. In a lot of ways, I think that emasculates the son. When he's bigger than the mother, and she tries to handle him like that. You know,
I can see. You think that turn our boys into women beaters?
I can see
that. That's going a little too deep, Slocking. My bad. I didn't mean to go that deep. My bad.
No, I don't think that turns them into women beaters.
You whoop a child 11, 16 years, 15, 11, like you said, that age.
I don't think the mother disciplining the son turns him into a woman beater. I think what turns him into a woman beater is by him taking on the characteristics of his mother, the emotional characteristics of his mother, and her not being, because the woman's not built to be that disciplinarian. She's not mentally or physically made to be the disciplinarian. So with that being said, all the son, the only example that he has in that household is his mother, and he sees how she reacts to situations. So he takes on that emotional, you know what I'm saying, mind frame. And I believe that turns him into a woman beater, because once he get into a relationship, he's not taught how to, you know what I'm saying, how to deal with situations, how to handle situations in a calm manner. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, like a man is gonna teach him to do. He takes on that emotional aspect of a woman, and I believe that's how, you know, he turns into a woman beater. But once again, this in Sirach 30:12, it says, "Bow down his neck while he is young, and beat him on his sides while he is a child, lest he wax stubborn and be disobedient unto thee, and so bring sorrow to thine heart." Verse 13 says, "Chastise thy son and hold him to labor, lest his lewd behavior be an offense unto thee." This is what a man is supposed to be doing. A man is supposed to be, you know what I'm saying, making the son do this. I promise you. I think I had told y'all, but it's a sister whose house I had did some work on, and she said, "Do you mind talking to my son? You know, and telling him something, because he needs somebody to talk to or something, because he acting out." And I asked, I said, "So where's the father at? What's up with him?" She said, "He won't teach him nothing. He just gone off in the wind." And see, I think a lot of women subconsciously, even when they don't want to admit it, know they need a man to instill that discipline in the children. Because if you notice, in a household, a woman can be hooping and hollering all day long, cussing, loud talking, yelling, sit down, shut up, da 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 da. But as soon as that man step in that house, ain't everybody on hush.
Nothing move.
Everybody on hush. Nothing moving. Because God made it that way.
That's right.
The Lord made it that way. Ain't nobody, like the brother said, ain't nobody got no business trying to be the mother and the father and all that type of stuff. No. You do the best you can. Of course, some women are put in a situation where they just got to be the sole provider for their children. The father's not in the picture and all that. You do what you got to do. But if you got a choice in the matter, try to stick it out with your children's father.
That's right.
And fathers, try to stick it out with your children's mothers, and make wives and husbands of each other. Right? Bye you.
Con. Let's keep going on that. He actually about to go into that.
Man, I ain't never heard a man say I'm proud of you. It was all mama. Even though our uncles was around, they street guys. They teaching you the bullshit. And they young. So now I ain't never seen a man come out my mother's bedroom, but she had a boyfriend.
Yeah.
So that aspect of just growing up with that missing piece of a male figure in your life, naturally, you seek out to fill that void away from your mother's home. The things that your mother tell you to do don't make sense amongst boys. When she fixing your coat as a little bitty boy and she giving you instructions on what to do to get back home, you don't. When you become an adolescent, and the things that your mother say to you, if you go out there and do that with other boys, you go get treated like a punk. And if your mother try to make you tough enough to go out there and deal with the boys, she might create a killer. So when I look at most of my homeboys who really about their life, and they'll really kill you, or they really have killed somebody, they mothers was the kind of mothers who groomed them for the streets. Some of the most gangsterous niggas come from hoe mamas, street mamas, gang. You know the mamas we call G mamas.
Yeah.
Or they come from very loving women. Both my brother and I caught murder cases when we was children. My brother been gone over 30 years for a murder he committed when he was 17.
Hey, pause there, King.
Streets, but we come.
Man, shoot, man, this ain't This ain't nothing new.
Right.
And we see the same thing. That's just what Otto One was just bringing out, is that the young boy takes on the mother's nature, and he becomes emotional, and he becomes a woman beater, and he becomes a rapist, and he becomes a murderer, a killer, because he can't control himself. Right. He can't control his emotions, man. Right? Let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 8, man.
Book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 5, verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrous women shall bring forth monsters.
See that? Give me Proverbs 25 and 28 out of 1. But yeah, going back to this right here, 2nd Ezra 5 and 8, it says, minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. And that's what we see amongst our community. Elder D, I believe, yes, sir. I believe everybody else can hear it, King. You may have to check your device and see, make sure it's turned up, King.
That video is kind of low. I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
Yeah,
it is low. Oh, okay, my bad. Salakia. Hey, can we turn it up on our end?
I tried to turn it up. It ain't. I try to use everything to turn it up. Let me see. Nah.
Okay.
No. Got that Proverbs 25:28 when you ready, King.
Con. The scriptures say, minstrous women shall bring forth monsters. And this is what we see across our community, is we see a lot of young boys have taken on the nature of their mothers, man. Right? And can't control themselves. Can't control their spirit, man. Spirit out of whack, because they ain't never seen no man do that, man. Right. And the men that they done seen, they can't control their spirit either.
That's right.
Right? So they've taken on the nature of the woman, man. Right? So men have to see, young boys have to see righteous examples in men and women. Right? Because then they'll know how to choose women. Right? Let me get that in what I call Proverbs 25 and 28.
25:28.
Come on, bring that out, good brother.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 25, verse 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down without walls.
See that? You don't got, man or woman, you don't got, I tell my daughter this all the time, man. Hey, control yourself, man. Control your spirit. You don't control your spirit, all this outside stuff that's going on in this world is gonna impact you, man. It's gonna be able to get you out of your character. It's gonna get you acting out on your emotions. And now you gotta come back and you gotta apologize and you gotta make right what you did when you was acting out. Right. But just control yourself. Control your spirit, man. And it's something that I'm working on. That's something that we all have to master to be our best self, man.
That's right.
You understand? So, man, what this brother bringing out is important, is key, man. He really speaking real life stuff that we deal with amongst our community that nobody wants to talk about for real. Right? But we have to discuss these things, man, to be able to take accountability and get better. But I yield with that, King.
Let's go to 2nd Ezra 14 and 13. Because by us talking about this, and our people need to start taking heed. Not because we said it, but because the Bible said it. We know that God is not the author of confusion. So when you don't establish order in the household, when you don't establish and correct your children, correct the people in your household, and instill order into the household, the opposite of that order is chaos, confusion. Right? Bring it out, King.
The book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 14, verse 13. Now therefore set thine house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption.
It says, set thy house in order. Reprove thy people. Reprove means correct. Rebuke. Right? It says, reprove thy people. Comfort such of them as be in trouble. So not only are we rebuking and reproving and correcting, we're comforting those that are in trouble. Right? And that, like I said, that goes for your immediate family as well. It says, and now renounce corruption. And corruption, what's been corrupt is the way that we've been doing things when it comes to our households. It's been corrupt. We ain't been running our households right. Right. Go down to verse. Let's see. Read the next verse.
Let go thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature.
He said, put off the weak nature.
That's right.
It's weak nature to not want order in the house. It's weak nature. You know what I'm saying? Our young men got weak natures. Our young men have a weak nature. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, when these little boys take on the mindset of their mothers, being all emotional, you produce killers. You produce niggas that don't know how to keep their attitude in check, keep their emotions in check. And you producing thugs, killers. You know what I'm saying? Dope dealers, niggas that don't know how to act. And this is weak nature. These are a bunch of young niggas running around with weak nature.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
The worst part of all that, what you're saying, is that they glorify in all of that. They think it's the best.
Wow.
You know, they put their ultimate energy and sweat and blood and sell their soul and vows and tears to live this way. So I yield.
Right. And that's why the man got to do what he's supposed to do. Men, it's our obligation. If you gonna take a woman, make a baby with her, stick with that woman, keep that woman, and handle your responsibility. You see what I'm saying? That we're supposed to be doing. But hey, I yield on that note.
Con, what we at on the timestamp?
This is 9:50.
All right, let's go to let's jump to 10:15.
Another controversial topic is that single moms can raise sons on their own.
No, that's impossible. You can only show them how to be a good woman.
Boy, that's heavy, man. Boy, that's heavy right there.
Hey, man. Hey, that was, but he ain't lying, though, man.
But hold on, y'all, Kings. But the thing about that is they're not teaching them how to be good women. They're teaching them how to be bad women. Because they monsters. They menstruous women. They grow. Let me say.
These young men ain't acting like young men supposed to be acting.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. Hey, this type of stuff our people need to hear. You need to be able to accept rebuke. You know, whenever you're going off.
Hey man, I'm laughing at that Charleston White man. He a nut, man, but sometimes he became some pearls out his mouth, man, for real.
Yeah,
man.
And it's the thing. Hey, we not on our sisters, man. We on men and women. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? We gotta get it together.
That's
you understand? Right. You know, but we gotta call a spade, man.
Right.
The brother said that the woman can't. What he said, the woman
teach him how to be a good woman.
She can't do nothing but teach him how to be a good woman.
Right.
Yeah, that's every word.
And watch how he break it down. Unless you had a precept, I don't want.
No, you good.
Go ahead.
He had a homeboy. He used to stand up and pee. He never seen a man stand up and pee. Because your mother teach you to sit down and pee. That psychologically does something to a boy.
Mm-hmm.
Boys aren't supposed to sit down and pee. But what does mama do? She gets you a pot and she train you to sit down to pee. When do you learn to stand up? When? It's a whole lot of little boys sitting down peeing. When do you learn to stand up? Because all behavior is taught. All behavior is learned. Okay, well, where do you learn to sit down? Watching mama. Why you think little boy, mama's supposed to close the door when he try to come watch her pee? Most women let her infant boy come in the room, watch her pee, watch her get dressed, and he take on those traits and characteristics from here. You can put that same baby with a wolf, and he'll behave like a wolf.
Wow.
So you figure by the time this kid get 9, 10 years old, he never sees a man stand up and pee. What do we learn?
Right.
Now you talked about I believe
let's jump to 12. Matter of fact, we good on that, man. Let's go to 14:14. But this is what the brother said is important. He said, man, if you take a child and raise him amongst wolves, he gonna learn the characteristics of a wolf. So this is learned behavior we see amongst our people, right? And it's unrighteous and toxic learned behavior, man.
Right.
So we gotta, the Most High is raising up. I see it amongst, our congregation. I see it amongst other Israelite congregation. All praise to the Most High. The Most High is raising up righteous men and women who want to stand for Him in the last days, man.
That's right.
We're gonna see children who have never celebrated Easter, never celebrated Christmas, never celebrated Thanksgiving, never eaten pork,
right?
Shrimp, crab, and lobster. You understand? And all they're gonna know is being raised up in the knowledge of God, man.
That's right.
And they're gonna stand on it too. They're gonna stand on it.
And they're gonna stand on that, man. And that's the Most High bringing heaven to earth, man.
Right.
You understand? That's the Most High bringing heaven to earth, right? But let's get it's timestamp 14:14.
All right.
And most of us are operating without some type of spiritual moral compass. We rule by our feelings and our ideologies, our beliefs.
True.
That's why we're so divided as a race and as a nation, because we don't serve a one God. Hebrews got a God, the Muslims got a God, the Christians got a God, the Buddhists got a God, the Crips got a God, everybody got a God. And it's all ideologies.
See that? Pause there real quick, man.
Coming home after serving.
And that's what we see amongst our people, man.
Right.
We don't have a standard, man. We don't have a moral compass. We don't have any guidelines, right? We don't have a law.
Right.
We serve different gods as a people, man. That's the reality. We serve different gods. He said the Israelites got a God. The Muslims got a God. The Christians got a God. The gangs got a God. The fraternities got a God. And the reality is that we serve different gods. We serve idols, man.
Right.
Right. Let me get Colossians 2:8, and let me get let me get Colossians 2:8, and let me get the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 3. I think that's what I want. Salaki, the classic.
I get Amos.
The brother dropping gems, man, and Charleston do be on some weird stuff, man, and I totally agree with you on that, brother Dex. But I had to see through his character, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the brother do be talking real stuff, and he is an activist in the community, but he just do this character stuff so people can pay attention to him and he can make money. That's all it is. I wouldn't do it, but hey, brother, I get it.
Right,
you know, because he said when he was being normal and trying to do stuff the right way, nobody wasn't paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but bring it out for me, King.
God, the book of Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through vain philosophy. Slakia. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the remnants of the world, and not after Christ.
See that? Mm-hmm. See that? After the rudiments of the world, man. And that's all we see amongst our people. Being a Muslim is the rudiments of the world, man.
Mm-hmm.
Being what it means to be a Christian in this day and time is the rudiments of the world. Being a Kappa, being a Q, being a Crip blood, these are the rudiments of the world, man.
Mm-hmm.
And not after Christ.
Right.
So we're serving different gods, man. The brother said we don't have a moral compass, man. We don't have anything that aligns us, so that makes us divided. We're moved by our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Even the scripture says everybody does what is right in their own eyes, man.
Right.
And that's why we can't walk together, man. We as the Israelites, see that? And you're right, bro. We as the Israelites, we're not walking with the Christians, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're not walking with the Christians, man.
Right.
But because the Christians doesn't believe in the laws of God, man. Bring that out in Amos chapter 3:3.
This book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
See that? Can two walk together unless they be agreed? Right? And you see what Sister Jalea said right here? She said, because our people love entertainment over knowledge. So he tries to meet them on their level. And that's right, man.
Right.
That's all our people love is entertainment, man. Right. They want to be entertained. So he gives them the clown in the show, man. And now that I have your attention, now listen to me. That's how he moves, man.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? What we on? You had some, King? One of y'all had some, brothers?
I'm gonna read Psalms 1:1 real quick. As a precept for Amos 3:3.
I get it for you. Book of Psalms chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. I'm reading that right?
Yeah.
For standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
That's just a precept to go along with that. How can two walk together except they be agreed? It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Stay away from the evil. You know what I'm saying? Walk in the counsel of wise men, men of the Lord, sisters of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Wise sisters. All right. Now I just wanted to bring it up.
Man, we got a couple more timestamps, then we're gonna be wrapped up, King. Let's go to timestamp 21 minutes, 22 seconds.
All right.
Demonic and pro-death, in which you talked about briefly just a moment ago when you talked about how music is, when you put the headphones on, this is what you hear, this is the lifestyle you have. Like, how do you feel that people are, is it entertainment is what I'm asking you? Is this for entertainment?
Not anymore.
No.
If it was entertainment, the beef wouldn't be so personal with the results of death. If this was really entertainment, we wouldn't know about street beefs in the music. We wouldn't be smoking on dead people if this was really entertainment. Nah, this is these are now criminal organizations. Because most of the rappers are tied to some type of street gang that's involved in street violence, where people are dying in between these rap groups. We think that the Fulton County Prosecutor's Office is getting it wrong. No, these are real criminal organizations. We just don't want to be honest enough as black people and say, man, we know these niggas rapping is really gang members, street niggas. Come on now. These are real. No, these are not rap groups. These are not. Now, they're signed to rap labels. These are criminal organizations that's being used as mind controlling tools to do what it's doing to black people.
Hey man.
And
hey, pause that out of one.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, the brother bringing it out, man.
Mm-hmm.
The brother is saying stuff that a lot of these entertainers are scared to say, man.
Right.
That these record labels are criminal organizations, man.
Right.
And they're social engineering so-called black people to act the way they act, man.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just gonna call it a spade a spade. We know who run the record labels.
Right.
The so-called Jewish man.
That's right.
Who is funding the demise of your people, man. The people who have stolen your identity are the ones who are funding your demise, man.
Right. Right.
And the brother is saying stuff. He's saying that they're a criminal. These are criminal organizations, man.
Mm-hmm.
And again, a clown, Charleston White be on a lot of clown stuff, bro. But we got to give the brother his flowers when he bringing out the truth, man.
That's right.
Salaki.
Go ahead, King.
I know I heard you say give him his flowers, but this is the part that pisses me off about Charleston White, man. You know, I'm just gonna say that part. Now
God.
It do, man, because he a wealth of knowledge. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I mean, you know, I get what you're saying. I get his whole gimmick. I get it. It just pisses me off because he got all these gems, and ain't nobody for real gonna really listen to him because they like the clown.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how our people are. You know what I'm saying? Our people, they like the drama, the chaos. That's what they look. Yeah. You know, they don't want to hear knowledge and truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, just like Sister Jalea said, man, you know, he's taking the approach of meeting them where they are.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. And now I can build you from there. Now listen to me that I have your attention.
Right.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? But let's continue on that unless y'all have some.
And we've made these we've made this demonic force a god of our children because we won't rebuke it. Because we won't rebuke it. Because we won't rebuke it. No one will rebuke rap music. No one will rebuke rappers. We won't rebuke it. So how can God free us from it? These lyrics are more detrimental. They're more demonic than ever before. We ain't never seen black people say, I'm a demon. Nigga, what? Everybody would get away from that kind of black person. Thanks. But these are our children professing this. And it says, what's in your, confess with your mouth and believe. So that now they say, I'm a demon. So they confessing. And we won't rebuke it. We go take pictures in front of the murals. Our celebrities are idols to our children and even to many adults. If the Bible is true, we see what happens to an idol worshiping people. Mm-hmm.
Hey, we can pause that, man. We can pause that. Give me and that's true, man.
That's right.
We've idolized these entertainers that are demons, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 14 and verse 27. Somebody else give me Exodus 20, man. Right? And verse number 2. The classic.
What's the Wisdom of Solomon?
14 and 27.
The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 27. For the worshiping of idols, not to be named in the beginning, the cause and the end of all evil.
See that? That's where evil starts, man. With the worshiping of idols, man.
Mm-hmm.
You understand, man? Like we gotta rebuke this stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they want our children, man.
That's right.
And like the brother said, man, these are the most wicked lyrics I've ever heard in my life, man. I see women professing that I'm a bitch, I'm a hoe, I'm a slut.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Shalaki, I don't know if y'all remember this in our when we was in our prospect phase, how they played the video when they was projecting the LGBT community on our children when they played that song for us that time. You remember that? You remember that, Mathanya?
I remember that too.
Y'all remember that? They played. We was in our prospect phase then. They played that video for us. When they was aiming toward our children, they was teaching our children this song. This song of how happy it is to be LGBT, and they said they was coming for our children. We coming for your children, whatever that was.
I think I do recall that. I think I do.
Yeah. Ma'Khia had played that on C4.
Yeah. I was just bringing that out because there's a form of them coming at our children, you know, with that LGBT, through the music, you know, and they had it sounding like a child's type of music. You know how a child's song sound? They had it sounding like that too. So
yeah,
I yield.
You good.
Now let's I did, man. One more time stamp is 30 and 45, man, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
One in Exodus too.
Yeah, I mean, we can bring that out. All this talking about is you should not have any other gods before me, man. You know.
Was it Exodus
20 and 20, yeah.
It says Exodus chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make.
That's it right there, man. That's the classic. And what we've done is we've made these entertainers our gods, man.
Right.
Right. We've made them our gods, man. They can't do no wrong. They can't, you know what I'm saying, be unrighteous. And we worship them, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know what I'm saying? They're nothing but gatekeepers, man, for the so-called white man. Right. I'm gonna just tell you straight up. The so-called white man has exalted these people to be the demise of your people.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I got a question as far as you saying worshiping. So, worshiping now, the music is listening to it and purchasing it now, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's a form of. I think that's a form of worship, man. Because when you start to. It starts to be in your mind that these people are not wicked and that they can't do nothing. Man, you're worshiping these people, man. Stop it.
Right.
You know, when LeBron and when Kobe and Jordan don't have no flaws and that's all you talk, hey, man, you're idolizing these people, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're idolizing these people, man. When you can't miss a football game or a basketball game and, you know, you got to be there and, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, you done put this stuff before the Lord, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know, check yourself, bro. You know, so man, we got to make sure we're moving in the spirit, man. And you know, it can happen to any of us, man.
Right.
It can happen to any of us. When you can't put your phone down, and that's for a lot of us, man.
That's right.
You can't put your phone down, bro. Hey, sis. Yeah, you're making it an idol.
Right.
Pick up your Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Read you a few chapters. You know what I'm saying? So let's get the last time stamp in 30 minutes and 45 seconds, man.
All right, I got a preset real quick.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you good. 1 Corinthians 15:33, it says, "Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners." That goes along with everything that he's saying and that you're bringing out. Is evil communication corrupts good manners, right? What you're taking in, the music you're taking in, you know, what you're seeing, what you're watching, you know, it's corrupting you. You know, it's corrupting our people. And he's not lying about what he's saying. All right, but I yield on that note. You said that was 1 Corinthians 15:33.
The water.
You said go to 30 and what?
45. 30 minutes, 45 seconds.
All right.
For your safety, because you're telling the truth about
Though
so
I
many
walk
things.
through the valley of the shadow of death,
That's right.
I shall fear no evil. I'm speaking against evil. What is there to be afraid of?
Hey, and that's all we want, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's all we want right there out of Wayne. Because hey, you gonna be persecuted for this truth, man. And this is for y'all Israelites out there, man. This is for y'all Israelites, man. This is for y'all that go out there and do the work of the Lord. This is for who don't hide who they are behind no banner. This is who proud of who they are and voice their opinions and voice and do the work of the Lord and go out there and tell their people, man. Hey, Psalm 23 that the brother was just bringing out. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, man. Right? For thou art with me. Right? Give me 2 Timothy 1:7, man, and then we're gonna wrap this up as far as Charleston White.
God. I mean, see 2 Timothy 1:8.
1:7, I believe. I'm shooting from the hip.
1:7.
Yeah, I believe. I'm shooting from the hip, I believe.
The book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but the power and of love and of sound mind.
That's See right. that? Hey, man, so the Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear, man. Right? We put these fringes on boldly, man.
That's right.
And the hell with whoever have anything to say about it, man, because we know the Most High is going to protect us.
Right.
That's
we
right.
We ain't worried about what or who we lose. We ain't worried about it. Them brothers from IUIC went over to Kenya, and the doggone Kenyans tried to jump him. Hey, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, man. Hey, and none of them brothers was hurt, man. They threw stuff at them, smoke bombs and everything, man. Out there teaching the word of God, man.
That's right.
Hey, but the Most High didn't give us the spirit of fear. Hey, the angels encamped around those who love him, man.
Right.
That's what the scriptures say. Right, man. So I encourage y'all, hey, keep going, keep enduring. Hey, man. Hey, all praises to the Most High, man. Next topic, man.
All praises. Go ahead. You had something, King? You had some Abadati?
I don't want.
Hold on one second. Okay, so all right, so on the as far as title, right? We had the Mark of the Beast, but we're gonna cover that next week.
Hey, my bad, King.
No, you good. It's gonna take too long to run through it, man. It's gonna take too long to run through it. So we're gonna cover that next week. So everybody want to check that out. Just stay tuned for next week, and we're gonna run through these end time prophecies that's taking place and the Mark of the Beast, right?
Hey, King Salaki, can we change the title, or is it too late?
That's what I'm gonna end up doing.
Okay.
Matter of fact, let me see. Let me go ahead and change the title now.
Charleston White reaction or
Charleston White spit pearls for a change.
God. All praise.
No problem.
All praise, man.
Yeah. Hey, this wasn't no clickbait, y'all. We just, the spirit moved. Hey, we just went the way that the spirit led us to go,
All praise to the Most High, man.
All praise.
It's matter of fact, let me get another preset real quick. Let me see.
I got one if you need.
Good, King.
Yeah, man. Let me just going back to what we were talking about in the original about you know what I'm saying? Let me get Sirach 30. Let's go back to Sirach 30, man. Right. The brother had brought out Shalom, good brother. Shalom. All praise to the Most High, brother. The wide on the scene, man. All praise.
Shalom.
All right. Let me get the book of Sirach, man, chapter 30. Right. And let's start at the top.
The book of Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30, verse 1. He that loveth his son causes him oft to feel the rod, that he may have joy of him in the end.
See that? That's what other one was talking about in the beginning, man. About that father being disciplinary. God, disciplinarian. Hey, that's a tongue twister. I'm sorry. Disciplinarian. Yeah, dog. Verse 2, read that.
God. He that chasteth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance.
See that? You shall have joy in your son, man. When you teaching him, disciplining him, raising him up to be a man, right? He need that. He has to see that. You know what I'm saying, right? Read verse 3.
He that teaches his son grieveth the enemy, and before his friends he shall rejoice of him.
This society is counting against you not to raise your son up in this, man.
That's right.
Right.
Because if you raise your son or your daughter up in this right here, it grieveth the enemy, man.
Right.
These children we're raising up in the law, statutes, and commandments, this society hates it, man.
Right.
They're losing money because y'all Israelites are coming out of the Valentine Day.
Mm-hmm.
They coming out of Christmas. Y'all are coming out of Christmas. Y'all coming out of Thanksgiving. Y'all stop buying the pork.
Mm-hmm.
As we continue to wake up to who we are, you understand? Right? Read that, King. Continue reading.
God, though his father die, yet he is as though he were not dead. For he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
See that? Your son should be like you. You understand? Your son should be like you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's read verse number 5.
God, while he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Right? So he was rejoicing of his son. He was proud of him, right? Verse 6.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
See that?
Did I say that word wrong?
Requite. Kindness.
Requite. Salakia.
Yeah, let's get I think Brother DeWitt had a precept as well. Was that the one we brought out already?
Let's see. Book Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 14. It says, thou shalt beat him with the rod and shalt deliver his soul from hell.
Hey, straight up, man.
Right.
Straight up.
Oh, that was a precept, yeah.
But I yield on that, man.
Verse 13 says, withhold not correction from the child, for if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Of course, yeah, he's not going to die. The Most High beats us with the rod. You know what I'm saying? Every time we disobedient, we get judgment. You know, it might not be judgment right at that moment, but we end up getting judgment.
That's right.
And so we have to emulate our Father by being the father that the children need. You know what I'm saying? But I yield as well. With that, we're gonna give all glory, honor, and praise to the Most High Yahweh Mashiach Yahweh Shah. Hey, we thank y'all for joining us for Israelite Perspective. Hey, like the video, share the video, and catch us next week, same time. You know what I'm saying? Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Central Standard Time, and catch us again. All right. Hey, shalom, family.
Shalom.